Yo guys, what if Vegeta straight up glitched into the Naruto verse? No chakra, just pure Saiyan rage tearing up the timeline. Let's freaking go.
Inside West City's capsule, Corp, the Saiyan Prince is pushing his body past the absolute limit, totally blind to the disaster brewing behind him. 300 times. Earth gravity feels like a gentle warm-up to him now. But the sheer pressure is messing with the room's energy field. Upgraded combat drones lock onto his energy signature, unleashing a deadly barrage that would instantly vaporize any normal warrior on the spot. He moves faster than light, completely bored out of his mind. These metal toys just aren't giving him the challenge he desperately craves.
Is this seriously the best you got, Bulma? I'm tearing this junk apart!
One punch. That is literally all it takes to turn millions of dollars of cutting-edge tech into a cloud of floating scrap metal. But that massive spike in Saiyan energy just triggered something else. Bulma's experimental time machine core is totally redlining right now. Vegeta is pouring every ounce of his raw frustration into one final, absolutely devastating blast. The strongest metal on Earth is literally crumbling under his boots. The whole room is just seconds away from a total meltdown.
Eat this, you worthless junk! Final flash!
The attack vaporizes the targets instantly. But that insane amount of pure destructive energy has absolutely nowhere else to go. The shockwave hits the experimental core. Saiyan Ki and unstable quantum fluid smash together in a totally freak cosmic accident. A literal hole in reality just ripped wide open. It is an absolute anomaly, swallowing light, gravity, and everything else. For the first time today, the prince is actually sweating. This void is dragging him in with the terrifying force of a dying star.
What the hell is this? I am not going down like this!
The ground shatters. In a split second, the proudest warrior in the universe is completely helpless, sucked straight into the unknown. He is falling through the fabric of space and time. No gravity, no control, just an insane ride across dimensions. The portal spits him out like trash. He is about to crash land in a world that has absolutely no idea what is coming. Welcome to the Warring States period. The ninja world's power scaling is about to be completely ripped to shreds. The crash hits the ground like a literal tactical nuke, instantly vaporizing a massive chunk of the ancient woodland. Out of the smoking debris steps the prince himself, dusty, pissed off, and completely out of his element.
Where the hell did that broken machine send me? This place is a total dump.
But before he can even figure out his exact coordinates, his insane Saiyan metabolism demands an immediate refuel. Meanwhile, just a few miles away, a young Hashirama is fighting a totally losing battle for his life. A heavily mutated demonic boar, literally an apex predator of this era, is hunting him down without mercy. He completely loses his footing, crashing hard into the dirt. His chakra reserves are dangerously low right now. He scrambles to weave hand signs, desperate to cast a wood-style jutsu before he becomes a midday snack. But the monster is just way too fast. Its massive jaws snap open, ready to completely bite his head off. Hashirama completely shuts his eyes, fully accepting that his grand dream of a peaceful village dies right here. But suddenly, a blinding golden flash of pure, concentrated kinetic energy violently illuminates the dark woods. The blast rips through the air, completely bypassing all the natural rules of physics and chakra in this world. The giant predator freezes mid-lunge. A scorching, glowing line perfectly separates its upper and lower halves. It collapses into two perfect pieces, hitting the ground so hard, it kicks up a mini dust storm. Hashirama slowly lowers his arms. His brain is completely short-circuiting as he stares at the absolute carnage. He didn't sense any chakra, no hand signs, just an unfathomable, raw power that absolutely defies all logic. Heavy footsteps break the silence. Vegeta strolls out of the shadows like he literally owns the entire planet. He barely even registers the terrified kid. All he sees right now is a massive, walking all-you-can-eat buffet. To young Hashirama, this mysterious, spiky-haired man looks like an absolute god of destruction descending upon the earth. With just one hand, the Saiyan casually lifts a chunk of meat that literally weighs several tons.
Looks a bit tough, but it'll do. Let's get this cooking before I actually starve to death.
The kid is completely paralyzed by fear. He has never, ever felt an energy signature this incredibly suffocating. A tiny spark from his finger instantly creates a roaring campfire, bending the environment totally to his will. And just like that, the fear vanishes. The future god of Shinobi just found something way stronger than any jutsu.
That was incredible! Please, you have to let me be your student. Teach me that power!
The campfire is absolutely roaring. The pure ASMR vibes of that fat hitting the coals are completely off the charts. Vegeta is literally inhaling thousands of calories, completely lost in his own world after that crazy dimension jump. And then there is the future god of Shinobi, literally begging on his hands and knees like a desperate fanboy. But the Prince of all Saiyans literally could not care less. He is treating this legendary ninja like a totally invisible mosquito.
I'm begging you! Show me how to wield that energy! I need it to protect my family!
He just closes his eyes, completely tuning out the tragic backstory to savor his roasted demon pig. The kid is throwing away, literally, all of his shinobi pride, slamming his forehead into the dirt like his life depends on it. Vegeta finishes a piece and casually chucks a massive bone right over his shoulder, completely blind, firing it. The bone crashes down with the force of an artillery shell, missing the kid's skull by mere inches. Hashirama flinches hard, totally frozen by the terrifying casual power being thrown around like it's nothing. But underneath all that mortal terror, his own biology betrays him. The kid hasn't eaten all day either.
Don't even think about it, brat. This is my kill.
He goes into full panic mode, waving his hands frantically to prove he isn't trying to swipe a bite of the boss's loot. The only sound left in the heavy, terrifying silence is the intense, crackling heat of the roaring campfire. The ASMR vibes here are seriously unreal. Just the pure, undisturbed sound of an apex predator devouring its prey. Hashirama finally takes the hint, locking himself into a perfect, frozen kneeling position to avoid getting obliterated. Even the wind and the bugs seem to hold their breath, totally paralyzed by the Saiyan's overwhelming presence. A sharp side-eye cuts through the silence. Vegeta is quietly assessing just how crazy persistent this kid actually is. The kid is literally holding his breath, terrified that even a single sigh will get him instantly vaporized. Down goes another massive chunk of meat, completely defying all known rules of human biology and stomach capacity. In just a few ridiculously fast minutes, a monster the size of a two-story house is reduced to basically nothing. He grabs the very last piece, tearing into it with the exact same ferocious energy as his first bite. Those last drops of fat hit the fading embers, capping off the ultimate ASMR feast perfectly. He wipes the grease off with his pristine white glove. The tank is finally full, and the beast is totally satisfied. Hashirama sees an opening. The meal is officially over. Maybe now this absolute unit will finally listen to him. But Vegeta just stands up, his shadow instantly swallowing the kid whole. The sheer difference in presence is insane. The warm fire completely dies out, perfectly setting up the absolute cold shoulder. He's about to deliver.
You're still here? Get lost, brat, before I decide to use you as a toothpick.
Vegeta simply turns his back and walks away. To him, the kid is literally nothing more than a passing insect. But Hashirama isn't taking no for an answer. He scrambles up, totally ready to be the most annoying stalker ever. For miles, it's just this incredibly awkward march. The kid sticks to him like absolute superglue. Vegeta suddenly slams the brakes. The kid face plants right into armor that is literally harder than diamonds. So, Vegeta decides to just take the high road, literally defying gravity to ditch this persistent kid. But Hashirama is a shinobi prodigy. He channels Chakra to his feet, refusing to be left behind in the dirt. He cuts through the air like a missile, fully expecting the primitive kid to give up and fall out of the trees. He is sweating bullets, pushing his body way past the red line, all just to keep this mysterious powerhouse in his sights. Vegeta touches down on a massive cliff edge. He just wants 5 minutes of peace to figure out what planet he's actually on. But 3 seconds later, the kid crash lands right behind him, literally coughing up a lung, but still refusing to quit.
Are you deaf? I told you to get lost before I use you as target practice.
Most grown men would run screaming, but Hashirama forces his shaking legs to stand, bowing down one more time. He starts pouring his heart out, rambling about, using that godlike power to finally connect the warring clans together. The absolute second he hears the words, peace and connection, a massive nerve snaps inside Vegeta's brain. He keeps blabbering about showing mercy to enemies. It is the absolute worst possible speech he could have made, looking at this naive, overly optimistic kid. Vegeta doesn't see a ninja anymore. All he sees is the ghost of Kakarot, that same weak, pathetic mercy that always somehow surpassed his own elite Saiyan pride. The ultimate trigger. His fist clenches so tight, his gloves nearly rip. The air instantly goes from cold to absolutely suffocating. The boredom is totally gone, replaced by a twisted, deeply personal wave of pure, unfiltered disgust. Hashirama stops mid-sentence. His highly trained ninja instincts are suddenly screaming at him that he just made a fatal mistake. It feels like the entire sky just crashed down on his shoulders. The gravity on the cliff literally doubles in an instant. He drops to his knees, literally choking. He isn't fighting a ninja anymore. He's standing in front of a natural disaster. The sheer density of his killing intent is literally ripping the rocks off the ground. The laws of physics are breaking down. Vegeta turns around. He isn't just annoyed anymore. He is deeply, personally insulted by this kid's existence. Pure, concentrated killing intent explodes like a volcano. This isn't Chakra. This is the raw rage of a Saiyan elite. Hashirama is completely paralyzed. His dream of peace shatters instantly when placed right in front of a true god of destruction.
Peace? Connection? You sound exactly like that pathetic clown I completely despise.
The massive cliff itself starts to shatter. The earth literally cannot handle the sheer weight of his absolute disgust. Hashirama sees the literal shadow of death. He realizes right now that no amount of talking is going to save his life. The prince raises a finger. If this kid wants to learn about power, he is about to get a totally brutal crash course. At the absolute last millisecond, Vegeta drops his hand. Vaporizing this weak kid just isn't even worth the energy. But he's definitely not letting him off the hook. He snatches the future Hokage up by the collar, like a totally helpless puppy, dangling over a literal abyss. Hashirama realizes he traded a quick death for something completely unpredictable.
You want to learn about real power? Let's see if your little peace speeches work on the local wildlife.
With a casual flick of his wrist, he literally pitches the first Hokage right off the cliff, like a discarded baseball. Hashirama plummets into the Valley of Beasts, a totally lawless death zone where 0 human beings have ever survived the night. He smashes into the swampy floor, totally wrecking his body just to survive the insane impact of the drop. He's not alone down there. Dozens of massive mutated apex predators instantly catch the scent of fresh, bleeding meat. Pure, raw survival instinct kicks in. If he stops moving for even a single second, he's totally dead. He literally burns through the very last drops of his chakra, sprinting up a vertical death trap just to survive. Up top, Vegeta is just chilling. He completely expects the kid to either climb out or become a midnight snack. Against literally all odds, a bloody hand slaps the ledge. The future Hokage totally refuses to die today. He pulls himself up, looking absolutely wrecked. His chakra is totally drained, and his body is running purely on fumes. But the look in his eyes changes. He is done playing the victim. He wants to prove he actually belongs here. He forces his hands together, desperately trying to squeeze out one final jutsu to show this guy his true worth. But to a Saiyan elite, this complex ninja magic system looks absolutely ridiculous. It takes way too much time. Vegeta just watches him with pure disgust. Relying on hand gestures in a real fight is a total joke. Before Hashirama can even finish his second sign, Vegeta literally deletes himself from the frame. Absolute speed blitz. He blinks, and the prince is already inside his guard. It's a completely unfair matchup from the start.
Doing parlor tricks while fighting for your life? Pathetic.
He pins the kid down effortlessly. This isn't a fight anymore. This is a brutal anatomical deconstruction. The punch connects with the force of a freight train. And this is where the real horror show actually begins. The camera literally goes X-ray. Vegeta's raw physical force doesn't just hit the muscles. It pierces straight into the energy network. He doesn't even need the gentle fist style. His raw, overwhelming kinetic impact acts exactly like a localized bomb. Boom. The tenketsu shatters like cheap glass. That entire section of his chakra network is completely, brutally shut down. Snap back to reality. The kid's brain totally blue screens from the agonizing, systemic shock of his network breaking. Vegeta just steps back. The lesson is officially over for today. The illusion of his ninja power is completely dead. The nightmare loop begins. He's thrown into a toxic marsh, where even the air itself is literally trying to melt his skin. He tries to weave seals again, his fingers sliding in the toxic sludge, totally desperate to find any way out of this trap. Vegeta doesn't even let him breathe. He shuts down the technique before the first sign is even finished. One strike, two strikes. The kinetic force ripples through his arms, systematically wrecking his chakra network from the inside out. He gets tossed into a spider nest. A classic nightmare fuel death trap that he is totally not ready for. He tries to weave seals to summon a clone. But his fingers are totally locked up by the web and the constant beating.
You're still relying on your fingers? Wake up! A shinobi who needs hand signs is already dead!
Every single time he tries to follow his ninja code, he gets slapped down harder. Vegeta is systematically stripping away his naivety. Vegeta is relentless. He's not teaching a jutsu. He's teaching a lifestyle. Do or die. There is no second place. He gets up again. Most people would have surrendered hours ago. But this kid just refuses to stay down. He tries to run. Vegeta shuts him down instantly. It's a brutal, repetitive cycle of absolute physical domination. The chakra network is officially failing. His internal energy system is completely, totally fried from the constant, brutal trauma. He tosses him into an obsidian thicket. Every single movement just adds another deep cut to his already wrecked body. He's delirious now. But even in a total blackout, his subconscious mind is still desperately trying to weave those same seals.
You really don't get it, do you? Your precious hand signs are a death sentence, you arrogant little fool.
He forces him to look at his own reflection. A broken, pathetic shell of a ninja who can't even stand up straight. The look of shame on his face says it all. He sees the truth. His current path is absolutely never going to be enough. He tosses him across the river. He's breaking him down until there's absolutely nothing left but the raw, hardened core. His subconscious mind is in a total frenzy. Even when his body is completely wrecked, he's still fighting to weave those seals. Vegeta isn't even tired. He's just getting started. He's stripping away every single layer of that naive, soft ninja ideology.
That's the 6th time. You really are a slow learner. Do you actually want to die here, or are you finally ready to evolve?
He pins him to a rotting tree. The kid's energy is flickering, barely hanging on by a thread after these brutal rounds. The final node gives way. The entire chakra system is gone. He's effectively been completely unmade as a shinobi. He's down. No chakra, no jutsu. Just a broken boy pinned to a dead tree in the middle of a war zone. Vegeta just leaves. He's pushing him to the absolute edge, forcing the kid to find a power that isn't dependent on magic tricks. The darkness is finally creeping in. He has literally nothing left. And that is exactly where the real growth starts. But the forest isn't done with him. A massive, starving wolf pack just caught the scent of his blood. Something inside him just snapped. It's not Chakra. It's something way older, way deeper, and way more dangerous. He is finally throwing away the manual. He is fighting like a wild beast now. Exactly how the Saiyan intended. No hand signs, no jutsu. Just pure, unadulterated, desperate rage slamming into the jaws of the predator. He is starting to change. The shinobi dream is dead. A warrior is finally starting to be born from the ashes. He's ready. He might be broken. He might be bleeding. But the kid is finally ready for the hell that's coming. The 8th throw. Vegeta isn't even aiming for soft ground anymore. He's using the jagged rocks to drive the lesson home. Even now, his hands keep twitching. The muscle memory of the shinobi code is so deeply ingrained. It's actually slowing his evolution.
Quit moving your fingers! You think those pathetic hand signs are gonna save you in a real war?
The kid is totally lost. He can't grasp why his world's absolute pinnacle of strength is being mocked as complete garbage. He leaves him in the dirt again. The psychological conditioning is brutal, forcing the kid to find a reason to stand back up. His chakra is running on fumes. He's pushed the system past the point of no return, and the tank is practically bone dry. He's finally hit the wall. The physical and mental exhaustion is too much. He's just lying there, waiting for the end. Vegeta waits. He's not merciful. He's calculating. He needs to see if there's anything left in that boy's heart to ignite. He tries to push off the dirt again. His nerves are shot. His bones are screaming. But that stubborn spirit refuses to stay down. He forces his battered body upright, dragging himself back into the fight. His pride totally crushed, but still burning. The 9th throw. He doesn't hold back. He launches the kid deep into the ravine, where the light literally cannot reach. It's a brutal, repetitive nightmare. He's being dismantled piece by piece, stripped of every single ounce of his ninja arrogance. He's down at the very bottom now. The light is fading fast, and his internal energy is barely a ghost. And that is it. The light in his eyes goes totally dim. He's crossed the border into complete, total biological failure. He just stands there, staring down at the wreckage. He's not checking his pulse. He's waiting to see if he's actually worth the trouble. He kicks him like trash. He's trying to provoke a reaction, to see if there's any killer instinct left in that broken shell. Even in total blackout, his mind is still clinging to his old life. He is still trying to hold onto his dead dreams.
Still dreaming? That's your problem. You're soft, and soft things get crushed in this universe.
The look of pure defeat. For the first time, he doesn't see a ninja. He doesn't see a village. He just sees his own death. He leaves him. Total abandonment. If he can't find a reason to fight for his own life, he doesn't deserve to be standing. And just like that, the chakra is gone. He's officially just a fragile, broken human, lying at the very bottom of the pit. A deep, hidden rage starts to bubble up. The hopelessness is turning into something raw, dangerous, and very cold. Something just clicked. The naivety is dead. The boy is gone, and he's not coming back. He starts to rise. That isn't Chakra, and that definitely isn't the Hashirama we know. He is changing. He stares up at the prince, not with hope, not with fear, but with the cold, dead eyes of a hunter.
I'm not done. I'm coming back up, and this time, you're going to fight me like a real warrior.
He scales the wall, leaving bloody handprints on every single inch. The descent into the abyss just finished, but the true training is just beginning. The kid finally stops struggling. That wasn't just fear leaving his body. That was the shinobi code being replaced by something much darker. He's not looking at him like a teacher anymore. He's looking at him like he's ready to kill. The transition is finally complete.
I'm done playing by your rules. I'm going to take that power by force.
The look in his eyes? That's not sage mode. That's raw, unrefined Saiyan-style aggression. He's finally tapping into the real deal. He's not weaving a single sign. He's dumping all his life energy into one single massive point inside his own chest. It's Ki, not Chakra. He's compressing his entire life force into his own heart, creating a literal bomb inside himself. The aura explodes. It's not green, it's not blue. It's pure, burning, blinding white. The kid just broke his own limiter. He's charging, not with chakra, but with every ounce of life force he has left in his body. He launches like a bullet. No hand signs, no prep time, just pure, explosive momentum. He's closing the distance at insane speeds. Vegeta is just watching, grinning like he's finally found a worthy sparring partner. He's not thinking about jutsus anymore. He's thinking about the punch. The only thing that matters right now is closing the gap. He arrives like a meteor strike. No warning, no signs, just pure, unadulterated force aimed straight at the Saiyan Prince. Vegeta isn't dodging. He's finally interested. He's ready to see if this kid can actually break his defense. The impact shakes the whole continent. The force of his desperate, raw punch meets the Saiyan's impenetrable wall. He's putting everything into this one hit. His muscles are tearing. His skin is burning. But he refuses to let go.
Not bad. Not bad at all, brat.
The barrier is cracking. His raw, unrefined life energy is literally leaking through the Saiyan's defense. The barrier breaks. He pushed the prince back. The kid just did the impossible. He's gasping for air. His hand is shredded, but he's smiling. For the first time, he doesn't feel like a weakling. The playful training is officially dead. Now, Vegeta is going to show him the true level of a Saiyan elite. This is the moment of truth. He might not have the chakra, but he's found a fire that can burn down the entire world. The battle truly begins now. The shinobi dream is burned away, and a new legend is forged in the fires of Saiyan rage. It's a clash that will go down in history. The ninja world is about to witness something that shouldn't even exist. Two worlds, one collision. The future of this era is changing right here, right now, in the middle of this crater. This is the end of the lesson. The training is done. The true war between student and master begins. The next time they clash, the world will change forever. Stay tuned for what happens next. The punch. Every ounce of his life force, every drop of his rage, focused into one singular, desperate point of contact. He caught it. He caught the punch that leveled the cliffside with literally one hand, not even breaking a sweat. The backlash creates a massive wake of destruction. The entire forest literally bends before the force of that one blocked strike. It's done. The reality finally hits him. He's not fighting a ninja. He's fighting a literal god of destruction.
Not bad. You've got the spirit, kid. That was actually worthy of a prince.
He's still standing. He's totally wrecked. But he's still standing. The first trial of the Saiyan is officially complete.
Drink it. You're going to need your strength for what I have planned for you tomorrow.
He actually gave him water. It's the first sign of mercy he's shown since he crashed into this world. The nightmare is done. But the morning sun signals something way worse. The hellish training isn't over. It's only starting. He knows it now. He isn't just a ninja anymore. He's going to be a warrior. And he's going to be the strongest one this world has ever seen. The Saiyan Prince just found the one thing he didn't expect to find in this dimension. A student. He's not the same kid who started this fight. He's evolved. And the ninja world isn't ready for what Vegeta is about to create. The era of the shinobi is dead. The era of the Saiyan Emperor has finally begun. The forest remembers the scars. But what lies ahead? A stronger Hashirama. Or a world completely reshaped by Saiyan power. The game is changing, and he's going to play it better than anyone ever has before.
Let's see what you can really do.
The training ground is open. The world is the target. He's found his path, and he's going to carve it out of stone with his bare, bruised hands.
Welcome to the real world, kid.
The forest slowly heals, but the power shift is permanent. The world of ninja is about to face a force they can't possibly understand. A new era rises with the sun, one where the rules are broken and only the strongest survive. The legend begins here.
Thanks for hanging out with me. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Love ya.